Hello again. Let's start our weekly drawing task. That will be a beautiful dancer with a very dynamic pose. Basically, it's something like I can see a hand coming up there. You have the body structure here, and then you have the hip here, then the leg, and leg here. I mean the thigh. Then you have calf, foot, and the leg itself here. But I think there is something wrong with my composition, so that means I need to move up. Again, starting back again, body structure, hip, thigh, calf, foot, calf of the left leg. Actually, but the other thing, what I see here is that leg goes here, so that means that I need to move the calf here. So the whole leg stretches right down here. You have the hip, heel, and then toes here. So, and then she's looking down. You got the head down. First of all, a rough shape of the circle of the head, which is not a circle in this case. Then you have her left arm. Then you have the hand itself, which is here, together with the fingers here, fingers, and body structure. Then you have the other hand here, and that's the elbow of her right arm. The right arm gets into here, which is the body structure. Then you have the dark dress, then a little bit of kneecap, body, bring the body in, a soft tone for her thigh, calf, shin, that's where the crotch area is, thigh here, a bit of thigh and shadow. That's the right thigh, and this is the left thigh. Kneecap here, shin, foot, calf here, and that's where the other foot is of the girl here. That's the other foot. Down, so that is the foot will come, a vertical line will keep bringing the foot here, and foot here, calf again, dark area for her dress. It's a very dynamic pose. Keep it in mind because we need to show that. And that's I'm trying to do some strong lines here to convey the dynamism of the figure. And you have the hair flowing about because obviously she's jumping from somewhere, or from low up. She's jumping up, or she's jumping from a higher place down. I don't know that. Then you have the hair. Then you have the forehead, nose. No, the forehead is actually here, and the nose is here. and then that's the, we don't see the chin because the chin is there, and that's the elbow, hand itself, as I said earlier on, hand, fingers, and the beautiful gesture of the hand, which is very delicate here. I'm not sure I will, I've captured it, but I'm trying. And a little bit of the dress here. That's the hip. Moving down here. Dark shadow with the crotch area again. Foot is the heel, toes, and a soft line here. Then you have a little bit of a reflected light on her calf, and then the shin is here. Calf here again. Now that line is the leg. I mean the upper leg. That's also the upper leg. I think I've gone a bit too strong here, so a bit of a softer line here. Dark. That's the cast shadow of the foot on the leg here, and then we have a dark shadow here. All that is a dark area. I should have kept it in the dark now, which I didn't. It's okay. You can go back to being it dark. Then we have a little bit of, that's a upper shoulder. Then you have the lower shoulder, and then a little bit more of a thorax here, which is a rib cage, and then here, so a bit wider there because it was like dangerously, it was too thin basically. It's just not, doesn't look like a real person. And then you have the head, which appears to be bigger because it's at the front. And then you have hair here. Then we've said to keep the then I'm moving the nose a little bit more to the here, more to the right. Then you have, that's the face area. I'm keeping it dark. I'm keeping it a bit lighter, not dark. Keep it a bit lighter. Then you have the neck area. And trying to make the head a little bit smaller because it just occupies too much compared to the rest of the body. And then a little bit wider here, which is again, it's a hip area. That's the thorax. Make it a bit bigger. I would even make it. First of all, I need to raise that a little bit because I find that area. So from the elbow to the hip needs to be a little bit bigger compared to elbow to the hip. Here goes to hip to the kneecap. Okay, elbow to the hip goes from hip to the kneecap. Okay, the kneecap is here, so I need to raise the kneecap to start with. That's a thigh. Elbow to the thigh, thigh to the kneecap. Okay, pretty much. I mean, it's not too far off. It's okay. And then raise that elbow here, or bring the elbow, sorry, the arm there. Move the arm a bit more there. And some shadow, dark shadow or cast shadow of the upper arm on her head. That's a bit long, so shorten the wrist and the hand itself. So the hand comes down, comes closer to the head, and the fingers are open. You needs to raise that a little bit with the finger there. I mean, the other hand, to show the other hand, where is it? Where it is? Where is it? It is there. It's here. Then lower that. Index finger, wrist, and it comes right down here. Okay, well, everything is there for the time being. It's not too far off of what I wanted actually to do. At least I've got the proportions not too bad this time. So giving it a bit more accuracy about the calf, get that line going on, get that heel going on there, get those foot there, get the foot there, get the thigh down here, and get, first of all, let's go back to the grind some charcoal, and then take some of that and apply it here onto the thigh to make it more, a bit more, more of a softer shadow. Then mainly on the foot down here, I want to use charcoal there because it will be a bit too strong, and there's no need for that. I mean, I don't want to work with lines down here anymore. It's a soft shadow, so that's why I'm trying to use shadow by applying it with my fingers instead of charcoal. Thigh a bit, that's a cast shadow of the body above onto the thigh below, and some highlights here. I mean, get that, give it a, and I mean, give it a little bit of a general dark line, and then I can come back. And now to emphasize that light on her thigh, I'm creating a bit of background, a bit of atmosphere here by darkening the background. Not everywhere where I think it's needed. For instance, like here. Now you might say it's a bit of a very, very soft, so I'm get some structure on the background because I don't want to be only a line or only a soft, smoky, dark area. So I'm using some kind of blending the background with the figure here. And I think that will also create some movement. Obviously, you're working with a dynamic pose, so, and you want that to be seen or to be felt. Okay, I think I've got all the soft background halftones, but I need to be a little bit more aware here to come back and emphasize some dark lines, especially the kneecap, which I think could go a little bit more to the right. And here to separate the calf from the rest of the leg, and calf a little bit more muscular here. Muscular or muscular, and again a little bit of a half tone here. Heel, toes, fingers here, which I'm come with the putty rubber now. The putty rubber working, and then her eye, eyebrow, nose here, forehead, eyebrow, nose, forehead, ear. Obviously she's looking down, so very little ear, if not at all. Then you have the shoulder, upper shoulder, and a little bit of thorax here, a bit wider. Okay, we've got the thigh here, which I think I've gone a bit too rounded, and I think it's thinner, and it's a line which goes from one side, and it's almost like a straight line moving down. And come now with a putty rubber. Putty rubber, that's her hair. Hair, it's actually curly hair. Wrist, upper, light here, light, which is her lower arm, then fingers here, trying to get that movement of the fingers. I think, of course, they're not that long. And then a bit of highlight here. Okay, highlight on the calf, emphasis on that line here, or where it separates from the calf and the muscle of the calf. Then you have the foot, highlight on the foot, another calf area down here, and knee, the heel, and a bit of light here, which is basically where it's reflected light from the, I think that foot is a bit too long, so I'll cut it a bit shorter there. Highlight, that's the brightest light, is basically here on her thigh, and then a straight line here, well, round it up to that point, and then a straighter line down here like that, and then coming and highlighting the thigh here. That will be nice to bring a little bit of light, and that light connects with the calf, so the thigh light connects with the calf here. I'm letting them blend together because they're pretty much the same brightness they have. Then you have the toes here, and let's give it a little bit of a tone here and a little bit of movement of that dark shadow that I've done earlier on, which was to help me out with the movement, but then at the same time, drawing never stops. The accuracy of the drawing never needs to be stopped. Never needs to be stopped, and you start drawing again and again until the last moment. And then you have a bit of light there, and which is the upper arm, a bit more rounded on the head there. Sit, Milo. It's Milo here. Oh God, he's coming back again. Milo, sit, I say. And the foot here, and the calf, as we said earlier on. Now a little bit of highlight on the nose area, cheek area here, eyebrow, and I think I've gone a bit overboard with that thorax. I think it's good as it is, doesn't need to be extended, and some reflected light on the upper arm here, and her body, and the dark dress here. What I probably need to do a little bit more here is to give her a little bit more of a shadow of her hair, and her curly hair down here, which is actually moving about here, and her curly hair on here. Okay, and a little bit more of emphasis on the eyelid, eyebrow, eyelid, nose, bit of chin, and the fingers. They need to be a little bit more defined because they're a bit too on air here. There's nothing. It's very undefined. The fingers are very. They're very.
Okay, I found this on the web for Undefiled. Check it out.
Oh my God, Siri! Don't want Siri now. Okay, sorry about that. It just activated itself. Don't know how to stop it. Okay, here, and then this hand needs to be defined a bit more, and that's the hand here. That's the one of the fingers. The other finger is there. The other there, and you have the shadow of the arm, lower arm, left lower arm, and then here. Don't want to keep it for too long, so I don't want to get here and bog down on the hand, but I just want to give you a general impression of the hand here. Then you have the elbow, okay, dark on the hands there. Now I think that dark area, it's a bit too dark for my taste, so lower it, and then you can concentrate on the other areas which are a bit darker. And here. Okay, and not much to be left, not much left to be done, to be honest. And then the toes here. Again, don't want to count them, but you know that they're there. And reflected light on the calf upper, on the higher part of the calf here. And some highlight on that, on the foot itself. Okay, and then a little bit of kneecap here. And here, that needs to come here, because if the hip is there, I can move the hip a bit there, and that will line up with this leg. That's it. Okay, good. Trying to do it as quick as possible, but then it's not easy to get the accuracy with the speed and talking at the same time, which I think it will come, but it will need time. Okay. And then a little bit of highlight on the thumb, and highlight on that part of her lower arm, sorry. So that's little finger, middle finger, and the thumb itself, which is, it's a highlight, it's got just a highlight here. There, that's where the thumb seems to be. It is actually, it's not seems to be, it's actually there. Eyebrow, nose area. Don't want to get involved too much, because it's just such a small part here, and it's not the portrait, so I don't want to get into work and spend time on the portrait here, because it's not the goal. And lower this a little bit more, her thigh. Okay, see you on the next one. What's the date today?